Let me take you back in time for a moment. Picture yourself years ago when you were much younger. You were full of energy, always on the go. Whether it was a morning jog, taking your kids to the park, or enjoying a brisk walk with friends, your body was a well-oiled machine. You didn't need to think about your metabolism or your waistline. You ate what you liked, moved with ease, and felt confident in your skin. But now things have changed, and no matter how hard you try, that stubborn belly fat just doesn't budge. It's almost as if your body has a mind of its own. Now imagine if I told you that this wasn't just about your willpower. This wasn't about how many crunches you do or how many salads you eat. What if I told you that this battle was being fought deep inside your body on a hormonal level, where the hormones that once helped you maintain a lean physique have now become your worst enemies? This is the truth for many people over the age of 65. And understanding the roles of these hormones is the key to unlocking your weight loss potential in ways that you may never have thought possible. As we age, two specific hormones, insulin and cortisol, play a huge part in determining whether we gain or lose fat. But the catch is that over time, these hormones can spiral out of control if you don't know how to manage them. These two hormones are often at the root of many issues faced by seniors, particularly belly fat. And in this story, they aren't just villains. They're misunderstood, and once we understand how they work, we can take the power back. First, let's talk about insulin. You've probably heard of it before. It's the hormone that controls your blood sugar. But what you might not know is how much it impacts fat storage. You see, when you eat, your body breaks down the food into glucose, which enters your bloodstream. Insulin's job is to usher that glucose into your cells, where it's used for energy. But here's the kicker. If your cells become less responsive to insulin over time, which can happen as you age, your body starts to produce more and more insulin just to keep up. This condition is called insulin resistance. When your body is constantly flooded with insulin, it becomes much easier for fat to accumulate around the belly area and much harder for you to burn it off. This is where many seniors get stuck. Despite eating less or trying to exercise more, they see little to no change. They might lose a few pounds here and there, but that stubborn belly fat remains. Why? Because their insulin levels are out of whack, causing them to store more fat instead of burning it. And this is where the frustration sets in. But here's the good news. Just because you're dealing with insulin resistance doesn't mean you're doomed to carry around that extra belly fat forever. In fact, there are simple, natural ways to bring your insulin levels back into balance. You don't have to become a slave to your blood sugar levels, and you certainly don't have to rely on complicated, expensive medication. With the right adjustments, you can begin to take control. Let me tell you about Barbara, a woman who had struggled with weight gain for years. After turning 65, she noticed that no matter how many diets she tried or how much exercise she did, the weight just wouldn't come off. Her belly was her biggest concern, and it had only seemed to grow larger. But when Barbara finally decided to dig deeper, she learned about the role of insulin in fat storage. She started paying attention to her meals, choosing foods that wouldn't spike her blood sugar, and making small, manageable changes in her daily routine. Over time, Barbara began to notice a difference. The weight started to slowly come off, and the belly fat began to melt away. It wasn't an overnight transformation, but it was sustainable, and most importantly, it was real. She learned how to regain control, and she's living proof that insulin can be managed naturally with the right approach. But insulin isn't the only hormone we need to talk about. The second culprit is cortisol, the stress hormone. Now, we've all felt stressed in one way or another, and stress is a normal part of life. But the problem comes when your body's constantly under stress, whether it's due to physical stress, emotional stress, or even chronic pain. When cortisol levels remain high for extended periods, your body starts to react in ways that you might not expect. One of the most notable effects is the increase in belly fat. You see, cortisol doesn't just make you feel anxious or frazzled, it triggers your body's fight or flight response. And when that happens, your body holds on to fat, especially in the abdominal area, because it thinks it needs to store energy for survival. This is a biological survival mechanism from our ancestors, but it doesn't serve us well in today's world. For many seniors, Ongoing stress can come from many sources: health problems, financial concerns, or the loss of loved ones. And when stress is chronic, cortisol keeps your body in fat storage mode, making it harder to lose weight, particularly in the belly area. This is exactly what happened to John, a 68-year-old man who had been struggling with his weight for years. He noticed that after retirement, he seemed to gain weight more easily, especially around his belly. He couldn't figure out why his old tricks didn't work anymore. He ate well, he exercised, but nothing changed. Then after a conversation with his doctor, John realized that his stress levels had skyrocketed after he retired. His routines changed, and he felt lonely and isolated at times. His cortisol levels were through the roof, causing him to store fat in ways he hadn't experienced before. But once John began practicing mindfulness, meditation, and other stress-reducing activities, he noticed something incredible. The weight that had been stubbornly clinging to his belly for so long slowly began to fade away. His body started responding again, and he began to feel like his old self. Now, the key to both of these hormones, insulin and cortisol, is balance. If one of them gets out of whack, your body begins to store fat instead of burning it. But if you manage both hormones carefully through mindful eating, stress management, and lifestyle adjustments, your body can begin to lose that stubborn belly fat. It's not about extreme diets or grueling workouts. It's about working with your body, not against it. It's about understanding the hormonal dance that's happening inside you and giving your body what it needs to restore balance. So what can you do to make sure your hormones are working in your favor rather than against you? The answer lies in small, consistent changes. First, let's start with your diet. Choosing foods that help stabilize blood sugar levels, such as leafy greens, lean proteins, and whole grains, is key to managing insulin. Avoiding refined sugars and processed carbs is a crucial step. Eating smaller, more frequent meals throughout the day can also help keep insulin levels stable. As for cortisol, learning to manage stress through relaxation techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or even just walking outside can have a profound effect on lowering cortisol levels. But the best part? These changes don't require drastic sacrifices. By making small, sustainable tweaks to your lifestyle, you can see big improvements in how your body stores fat, and most importantly, you can take control of your health and your life once again. As we bring this to a close, I want to leave you with a powerful thought. Aging doesn't have to mean giving up on your health or feeling stuck in a cycle of frustration. The challenges you face with weight gain, particularly around your belly, are more than just a matter of willpower. They're rooted in the hormonal changes that come with age. And the good news is, you don't have to accept them as your new reality. By understanding the role of hormones like insulin and cortisol, you can begin to take back control. Insulin resistance and high cortisol levels are not villains. They're simply misunderstood forces at play in your body. The more you learn about them, the better equipped you'll be to manage them in ways that work with your body, not against it. It's not about following the latest diet fad or pushing yourself to extremes in the gym. The key to unlocking your weight loss potential lies in small, sustainable changes, starting with balancing your hormones. This isn't an overnight fix, but with patience and consistency, you can see real, lasting progress. Just look at Barbara and John. They didn't give up when the going got tough. Instead, they made manageable changes to their diets and daily routines, and over time, they began to see results. Their stories prove that it's possible to turn things around and reclaim your confidence, no matter your age. Remember, managing insulin and cortisol doesn't require complex medications or drastic measures. It's about making mindful choices, like eating foods that stabilize your blood sugar and finding ways to reduce stress. Whether it's through mindfulness, meditation, or simply taking time to walk outside, these small adjustments can make a world of difference. The journey to better health is a marathon, not a sprint. By choosing a balanced approach, you can see improvements that will not only help you shed that stubborn belly fat, but also boost your overall well-being. So take the first step today, make a small change, and commit to working with your body. You don't have to go it alone. With the right mindset and strategies, you can regain control and start feeling like yourself again. Thank you for watching, and remember, it's never too late to start working towards a healthier, happier you.